Can I survive 99 nights in the forest? We're gonna find out. I'm gonna keep trying until we can make this happen. So let's get right into it and try to survive 99 nights. So here we are, ready to begin our first attempt at surviving 99 nights. Let's go ahead and get into it. And I already collected quite a bit. I got wood, I got some coal, I have some food. I have a pretty good start to the first day. At least I think so. We got map level 2. Sweet. We just unlocked more stuff that we could do. So here we are. We got ourselves a wolf pelt. That's pretty good for early on, right? I happened to get a wolf and I got a pelt and a rabbit's foot? A bunny's foot this early? Just so happens we have the trader here too. It's going to be fantastic. We have a good start with a nice, good axe to start with. And what else should we get? I don't know. We got the wolf pelt, so we can probably just get a good sack, right? So we can have more slots. 15 slots right away at the very beginning. And a good axe. Of course, it would give me a good axe after I already have a good axe. They're trying to really mess with me here, aren't they? Your fire's gone out. Well, good thing I got some coal so we can get it to the next level, level 3. We have to see more of our map and potentially rescue more people. Well, once we start actually doing some rescuing, right? Okay, so we have so much stuff here. It's very organized. I'm sure Unicorn will be very proud of the organization skills of my base right now. But at least I have a lot of product, right? So we're gonna place just our extras in the wood chopper there, and that way we can start building up our camp itself. Cooking some food. I got pretty hungry. During my adventures. The fire reached 100%. The fire is even bigger. We can see so much further. We could even see where one of the kids is. So here I am using my traps so that we can start catching some of these wolves. I mean, they didn't expect me to be using traps. I didn't do very good either, to be honest. I even got myself right there, as you could see. And there was no trap ready for the wolves because it got me. So, I mean, I still need to do a little bit of work with traps so that I could get this down and finally get past where I can have 99 nights survived. I'm going to try to do this one achievement at a time pretty much. See if I can get different badges along the way. And, if I can get all the pelts and level up my hunter class, that'll be great too. Ideally, I want to get something like the alien class. That would be great, but I need to get some diamonds to do that. So for now, just concentrating on getting these wolves one at a time. I was struggling a little bit with it because I was getting used to whole baiting them into the trap thing. Because look at this, ring around the rosy. That did not work out very well for me, did it? But eventually, I got them. Eventually. It just took a minute. And we have what? One more left. One more wolf left. He glitched out for a minute, but I got him now. So let's see. We can right into that trap. We have our first key for our first kid that we get to rescue. So let's go ahead and rescue this dude so we could just be done with this whole ordeal here. Night's approaching. Of course it is. Night's always approaching. But we got the kid. We're going to see what our loot is for doing such a good job. And we have a spear. Nice. Well, that would come in handy if I run out of... If I need it for any reason. I do have my traps though, which I'm relying on pretty heavily right now. So that's good. The kid did not try to go into the fire. I did not throw a child into the fire. That's a figment of your imagination. It didn't happen. So we got one child rescued. We just need to get 3 more. That's the goal. And in the bathroom we find a rifle. Why would there be a rifle and a fuel canister inside a restroom? I don't know, and we'll probably never know. So we're going to be attacked tonight. We have the old radio. We have a closet with just stuff. Money stuff. And what's in the chest? What's in our lucky chest? A revolver. So we got both guns. We have a revolver and we have a rifle. Let's see how quickly we could use all of our ammo. I mean, we used it to get the alpha wolf pelt, so that's a good thing. We're going to go ahead and turn that in. As soon as it's daytime again, we'll turn in the alpha wolf pelt. So that way we can get our next upgrade, whatever it might be. Okay, placing some traps. and getting rid of these cultists that invaded my camp while I was out gathering resources. How dare they think that they could come into my camp and make it into their home? They can't do that. I left meat in the ground. You know, it's a very sanitary place to put meat. Totally not being rained on raw meat out there in the ground or anything like that. Let's get something new. Let's get a giant sack so we can hold 25 items. That sounds so good. Okay, and now look at that. We could just stuff so much into our sack now. Our giant sack. We can put all that morsel if we wanted to. But now we're dealing with the alpha wolves are protecting the next kid. We're going to save that kid. It's going to be amazing. And we're going to have a victory. We're going to have a victory. Sometime this week is going to be a victory. This is a challenge to see how many videos I need to do on this until we can finally have a 99 nights victory, or at least save all the kids in some way or another. We're going to make some progress. It's going to work out great. Night is approaching. Come here. Come here, Wolfie. Get inside the trap, dude. That didn't work out very well, so yeah. I did find a medical station, though. I did find a hospital with some bandages, so that's a good thing. And some ammo. I mean, what kind of hospital just has rifle ammo sitting around? Or was it revolver? It was ammo, nevertheless. So, all right, here we go. We're gonna get some bandages. Of course, they're gonna have bandages in the hospital. Why wouldn't they? But they also have something interesting: middle chairs. And I did recently discover you could actually set up the chairs. You could set it up and make it camp. I didn't do that, but you know, it's something I'm gonna do in the future. I think setting up a little sitting area in the camp and stuff would be a great way to get nothing done. The owl is out and about, but I was fortunate enough for it to be daytime, or at least turning daytime, so that way I didn't have to bother. Didn't have to bother dealing with that guy, but I did have to bother with bears. I can't believe I finally discovered the bears out in the wild. I haven't done that yet, so that's interesting. Normally when I deal with the bears, I just deal with them in the cages, but this was something unique. It was different, and I did get a med kit. That's right. A med kit is great, except for I'm playing this by myself, so if I died or something, then, you know, it's not going to do me any good. I climbed the ladder backwards, dude. I totally should have went the other way, but I had a wolf on my tail, so I was panicking a little bit. It's like, oh no, the wolf is going to get me. But if we made it up, that's great. That's the way the ladder works. We made it up. Got some fuel up here. It's a nice little area. If I can build a base up here, you know, it's also potential that no cultists or wolves or anything could get me in here. Might be a good place just to like AFK or something. I don't know how that works, but I'm sure you could just kind of idle here and you wouldn't die. But I mean, you would starve to death. That's kind of the problem here, though, right? You would starve to death because you wouldn't have anything to eat. But I got a good axe. It looks like a really awesome axe, and I wanted to test it out on some trees, but I never did. I never do that. I get a little distracted because I'm being attacked. And then as soon as I get down this ladder, I have this guy to deal with too. But I totally wanted to test this out on a big tree and see if it works for them. Until that happened. I fell into a trap and everybody in my party died, which was just me. Can't believe that was a really good run, and it got just destroyed by a trap. So here I am building up my camp for the next attempt at this. We're gonna get the fire to level 3 right away. First night I just really stockpiled on wood, got myself some food and some resources. You know, of course I was not having any fortune with pelts or bunny feet, but that's the nature of it. I never seem to have much fortune with that. But we did get the campfire to level 3, so that's a plus, right? That's a movement forward. That's an upgrade for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and get some meat in there. Cook the meat. It'll be so good. It'll be delicious. Can't wait to try it. You guys ever ate meat? Like hunted meat? I don't know. It's pretty good. I had venison before. It's pretty good. All right, so here we go with a bunny. Bunny, bunny, bunny. I want your foot. I need your foot so I can have an upgrade. I thought that guy was going to attack me for a minute, but he was actually just running away. Night 1, he just kind of lingers there for a minute. And then this wolf right here was kind of lucky because he just waits inside this place and he gave me a pelt. So that's pretty nice to have a pelt right away. That's going to be very helpful later on when I need to trade it and get some nice resources. Good thing to have early. And we find a chest in this as well, which has a good axe. That's also really good to have because now I don't have to trade for that when the guy comes along. Right? So we could trade for something else. So we got the bunny foot. So we have the bunny foot. We have the pelt. We're good. So I don't need the axe. I'll take the sack right now. Get the good sack. And we could get a spear. Right? So we're good. We're pretty golden to start with. All right, so we're just wandering out here in the wilderness. One thing I didn't notice is how close the monster was to me. Like, you can hear the monster like right on my tail. I had no idea. I didn't notice that while I was, running through the forest. But it was pretty creepy to listen back to when I was editing the video. I was like, ooh, that sounds close, man. I gotta be more careful for sure. Okay, so we have a lot of bolts, a lot of metal. Ideally, what I could have done is make a bunch of traps to defend the camp. But I never do that. I had so much bolt. I'm not sure if anyone's done a playthrough of this where they completely surround their camp with metal bolts, traps. But we did find a gun. That's great to have a revolver already. It's a good start, at least. And we get a bandage. That's pretty good. But we have night approaching again already. It seems to be going fast. There was a lot of in-between time where I was finding coal, finding wood, things like that. And if you notice, I have 31 bolts. I could start making traps. Because they're only 3 each. I can make a lot. I can make 10 traps if I wanted to and just place them around. But at the time, I didn't think of that. I made the bed. And I did a little bit more with the bench. I didn't get too invested, though. I also noticed that there's farm plots, which I have heard about the farm plots too, but for right now I'm building a map. Farm plots seems like a good thing because you can grow carrots. Ideally, in the future, it's something I'm going to want to invest more into. So that way I don't have to worry about food as much. Surviving, I don't have to go hunting food. But I am playing as the hunter, so hunting food makes sense. We're trying to get the first child on this day, on day 4. So we have the red wolves here to deal with. It's a good start. Day 4 is a little bit late to the party, but I wasn't fully attentive here, as you can tell by me stepping into my own traps and eating raw food. Look at that. They both evaded the traps. That was terrible. I'm over here trying to get them both to go into the traps, and they're like, nah, man, we're just gonna evade this thing. We're gonna walk away from it. No problem. But look at all these pelts and everything, too. We got pelts, we got meat. We have a lot of stuff. And we have another, we saved a child. We're about to save a child. One more wolf to deal with, which is probably, no, let's guess. Yep, the other one triggered the trap, so this one is just running around after me, and I have no health, really. I have no health. I'm hungry. I've been over here sprinting, using too much stamina, trying to deal with all this. But here we go. Let's go ahead and get in there. And can we save the child? Of course we can. Of course we can. I don't think you can get stopped once you're at this point, right? It's pretty simple, right? You just go in there and save the child. But we're hungry. We just need to get this kid and get back to the house. Fuel canister is pretty good, though. It's a good investment because now I can go and build up that fire even more. So we have some log walls. I start doing some fortifications here, just a little bit. I was thinking about walling myself off, but then I completely got sidetracked and didn't do it. It was just a passing thought I had. Like, actually build defenses, wall myself off would be a good idea, and then surround myself with traps as well, except for, one path that I can go in of and out of. but I ended up not doing that. I ended up placing down a few things and then going about my way. That's what I do. Okay, here we go. We're getting that fire loaded up so that way we're good. I also filled up the grinder a bit. I put some stuff in there. That's what I was saying before. So that's good, right? And I always wanted to grab more wood every chance I got. So here we are dealing with some cultists. The cultists were protecting something. I was very curious. There's like a downed helicopter over here or something like that. Some tent with slashes. I mean, they were attacked by obviously something creepy like the deer. But I didn't notice it until editing, but there's some red text inside that tent. I didn't look at it, but it looked like something interesting, so maybe it's some kind of secret code that we need to investigate later on. Alright, here we are, opening up another chest with a bandage. It's always good to get a bandage, right? So this is a different run than before. Before we had the hospital, we had tons of medical supplies. But here we get food, we get seeds, which look like bees, honestly, fireflies, not bees. Okay, and then we're having good luck when it comes to chest, when it comes to loot here. Another bandage, another one even. Just tons of bandages. But I do have a run-in with a little friend on my way back home. There he is right there. He just kind of in pursuit. He's just following me, man. I'm being followed by this owl and he's just not giving up. I get all the way home though. So, but I get a little distracted with some sheep middles. I mean, it makes sense because it's sheep middles. So, you know, I don't have enough middle apparently, even though I have a giant stack of it. Look at that, 45. I could easily build some traps. Easily build some traps. And then at some point, you know, I did see the owl. The owl was just there. That's pretty crazy. All right, so here we go, building some farm plots finally, right? So I finally get to investigate that, except for I never actually use them. I place them down and I never go back to them. Instead, I'm too busy wandering into traps like this. Little random rope trap in the middle of the forest, which is funny. But let's save the second kid. Let's see if we can get him saved. Or her saved. I forget. But there's a bunch of alphas here. I was hoping to get an alpha pelt too, because I don't think I've gotten alpha pelt yet. Not with this character. But we did get the blue key. There was no alpha pelt, but it was a worthwhile attempt to get one. Okay, night is always approaching when I go inside to get the kids free. It's really strange, man. I don't know why that keeps happening. But we have a giant sack for free, which is amazing. I need to save these children more so we can get more rewards. That's totally the reason why. Yeah, so here I do something a little bit silly. I'm over here unloading everything, and I forgot I had the kid in the sack. I almost threw the kid in the grinder. Oops. That would have been a terrible, terrible thing. But, you know, I was able to pull out of that one. So we have Squid Kid. That's the next one to rescue. So am I going to be able to get all the children saved? Or am I at least going to be able to achieve that goal? We're going to achieve that goal. Well, I'm not too sure. But let's hope this alpha has a pelt, because that's something I need. I need a pelt from alpha. And there's nothing. Of course there's not. Even though I'm a hunter, and I believe I get a better percentage, better chance of getting pelts. It just seems like pelts were scarce. They're just scarce anyway. Alright, so here we are. We have a chest that we could loot. We're going to be attacked tonight? No. I already have the spear. I don't need the spear. Let's go see what we're going to be dealing with after I grab another radio. I had so many radios when I was playing this. Just non-stop radios. Just glad they didn't work, because I'd probably get copyrights on YouTube from so many radios. Alright, here we go. And there's a good axe, and I don't need it. I don't need any of the tools. I'm pretty well equipped. I figured I was good this time around, except for the alpha that was chasing me. Leave me alone, alpha. I wanted the berry. Oh, but the alpha is the thing that did it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can follow the journey of 99 Nights in the Forest. Let's get that victory. Bye-bye.